Hey guys, this is Nikita Wilson with Kita's Kitchen, and this is Motivational Monday. Let's get into it. I do have, as you know, my note cards. I did pick these ones intentionally just because I know that there's a lot going on with Corona, but at the same time, we still have the normal stuff that we're going through. So I kind of just wanted to touch on that. I am going to read them randomly though. I don't have like a specific order that I want to put them in and share them with you. So let's get started. It says, a careless word once spoken can never be undone. Now, with this quote is something that I really have been working on. I am typically the sweetest person that you've ever met. You know, I feel like we all have that other side to us where we can say things that we don't mean. And once you say something, once you put it out there, when somebody hears it, it's not anything you can ever take back. Not with an apology, even, you know, sometimes with changed actions that, you know, those words still hurt. We know the saying, you know, actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, your words can be very powerful. You never know if what you say can be last straw. You don't want to be that straw that breaks the camel's back. So I think it's important to remember that a careless word once spoken can never be undone. Again, this is something that I am working on personally. We have to do better with the things that we say because we can never take it back once we put it out in the universe. Index card number 2. It says, the most liberating and empowering day of my life was the day I freed myself from my own destructive nonsense. I'll read it again. The most liberating and empowering day of my life was the day I freed myself from my own self-destructive nonsense. Now that's powerful. When you can take accountability and responsibility for your actions and a part that you played in something, it is empowering. You know, we can sit here and point the finger all day and blame the world and blame our parents and, you know, blame our girlfriend or boyfriend or as far as why we did what we did. But when you stop, you're like, wait a minute, that was me. Like, okay, now that I know, you know, once you can identify your toxic traits, is when you know what to improve. If you're taking time to point out what everybody else is doing, well, they did this to me, so I did that. But in reality, you are in control of you. Nobody can really make you do anything. It depends on how you want to react, how fast you react. You know, just like we said, sometimes you got to take a minute, pause, think about what you're about to say before you say it. Think about the consequences. So for this index card, I'm going to challenge you to list 3 self-destructive traits about yourself. Now you can either write this in a notebook, you can say them verbally, you can comment in the comments if you're open to share. On to the 3rd index card. This is a good one. It says, there is no peace without forgiveness. There is no peace without forgiveness. And when you think about it, you know, if you're holding a grudge or you're still angry at somebody, that person is going on about their day, not knowing anything, enjoying life. And you're sitting here with all this anger and all this turmoil and all this resentment when at the end of the day, it's only hurting you. It's eating you up. When you have anger and resentment and hurt and all that bad stuff in your heart, and I know it sounds corny, and when you have that in your heart, you have no room for all the good stuff. No room for the love, no room for joy, no room for happiness. Don't let that eat you up. You will never have peace if you can't learn to forgive people. Forgiveness is when you can say thank you for that experience. When you can really, you know, sit there and be like, you know what? Thank you. You know, it was ugly, it was tough, it hurt, but I learned from it. And now I can do better. So thank you for that. We have to also realize that forgiveness does not mean that you have to recreate a new relationship. Forgiveness does not mean that, hey, we were friends, we fell out, I felt like you betrayed me, I forgive you, so now let's be friends again. No, that's not what that means. I can forgive you, have my peace, and still move on. You don't have to rekindle anything with anybody in order to forgive them. And also, people kind of correlate forgiveness with closure. Now, what does closure mean? Does closure mean I really need to sit down and have a face-to-face with you? Does closure mean I need you to apologize to me and then I'll apologize to you? Closure can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but sometimes you don't get closure. Sometimes you don't get the closure that you want. And sometimes you just have to walk away. It's okay. Forgiveness does not always equal closure. So that's something that we all have to remember, because there's situations that I've been in, I'm like, I just want answers. I just want to understand why. But sometimes that person that hurt you doesn't even know why. They can't even give you the answers to give you the closure that you need. So don't even go there. Okay, now this is a good one coming next from the forgiveness quote. This says, stop making yourself so accessible. I'll read it again. Stop making yourself so accessible. This all falls into self-care. It falls into protecting your peace. Sometimes, and I know this is a me thing. I like I said in the beginning, I am an introvert, and sometimes let me back up. I am an introvert who's very good at being an extrovert, even though I'm really not. So for me, if I'm doing all these extroverted activities, I'm going to eventually need a minute to recharge. I'm going to need a minute to calm down, get my thoughts back in order, and literally recharge. So with that being said, sometimes I have to cut the world off. Sometimes, okay, well, I'm not gonna go on social media for the day. Let me just let my brain settle. Let me get some juice back. Excuse me, let me get some juice back. And you can't feel guilty about that. A lot of times we are so used to friendships where we're always together, we talk every day. Like, a lot of my friends now are older, so they're like their late 30s, early 40s. And the lovely thing about that is I can go days without having to text them, call them, see them, and then we link up and we're good. It's not that unhealthy, clingy, dependent relationship. And then people start to feel some type of way when you do need that time to recharge and you don't want to be accessed. Then people get offended. Oh, you're acting funny. You don't need them kind of people. I'm telling you, if I can't take time to focus on my family, take time to focus on me, take time to focus on my businesses without explaining to you, I don't need that. No ma'am, no ma'am. This quote, it's not even just about like friendships. This can go for work. If you are a business owner, an entrepreneur, like a freelance, whatever it might be, and you say, you know what, work is done at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. I'm going to go home. I'm going to start preparing food for my family. We're going to have family time. Set that boundary and stick to it. Do not make yourself accessible. It's all about boundaries. If you set a boundary and then you allow people to cross that boundary whenever they want, it's no longer a boundary. Bottom line, set boundaries and stick to them. People who really love you, who care about you, who are really down for you, whatever, they will understand that and they'll respect it. Okay, last index card of Motivational Monday. It says, you were not put on this earth to suffer. Things do get better over time. You are capable and brave, even when it feels like you're not. I'll read it one more time. You were not put on this earth to suffer. Things do get better over time. You are capable and brave, even when it feels like you're not. This one is pretty self-explanatory. We all go through stuff. We all go through stuff to the point to where we can literally feel that it hurts. We can feel it, like right there in our core. We can feel that it hurts. And it's like, why, God? You know, why am I going through this? I'm a good person. I try to do the right things. But that's just, unfortunately, the bitter part of life. You know, we all have to go through things, but we have to remember that it does not last forever. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy come in the morning. And that's real. You have to put as much emphasis on the pain and the suffering and the hard times, on the great times, the celebratory times, the fun times, the joyful times. Just remember, because it's all a balance. No, we weren't put here to suffer. No. Are we going to have bad days? Are we going to have a bad week? Hell, a bad year, because 2020 has been crazy. But just remember, things do get better with time. Time heals all wounds. You just got to hang in there. Have your support system, have your go-to people who are going to give you the right advice. You know, you don't want those people who are just going to encourage you whatever you want to do. No, you need those real people in your life who are going to be honest with you, but through love. So remember, you're capable, you're brave. A song that I like to listen to, I'll give you guys a song too. A song that I like to listen to is, there's two of them, I'll give you two. Unstoppable by Corinne Hawthorne. That's like when I'm charged up, I'm excited, like I'm feeling invincible. Even when I need a little pick-me-up, that's like my go-to song. And then I think it's called All Things Are Working for My Good by Travis Green. Listen to those when you're in a funk. Listen to those when you want a reason to celebrate. Listen to those when you need a reminder. So that wraps things up for Motivational Monday. I am so happy you guys took the 10 minutes out of your day to listen to me. Hang in there, y'all. We're going to get through this Corona stuff as well. We'll make it work. I'm going to be here for you. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you.